This is Scott Johnson on behalf of Hopkins Farm Broadcasting here in Shelbyville, Tennessee, Bedford County, about 50 miles south of Nashville, 25 miles south of Murfreesboro. And, lovely, sunny day in the rolling green hills of southern middle Tennessee. It's that time of the month where we have Dr. Tammy Garrett, the Bedford County Schools Superintendent, to come in and talk about what's going on in public education in here in Bedford County. Good morning, Dr. Garrett.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Good to have you. Let me see here if we start out by, are y'all out of school tomorrow?
Yes, we are.
For Good Friday, right? Celebrate Good Friday. All right, just to let folks know, in case they don't see any school buses out there.
Yes, no school buses tomorrow. Today's our last day of the week.
Okay. But you guys, I know it's that time of the year. I was talking to one of your teachers the other day who's a third-grade teacher, and it's testing time, right?
It is. It started Monday. We'll go this week and next week.
So what kind of testing, just to remind our listening audience, what kind of testing do you, I know this is state-required testing, right?
It is. They start at second grade and go through 12th grade.
And what are they testing?
They're testing reading, writing, math, science, and social studies.
Pretty much all the basics?
Yes. The science and social studies come in at older grades, especially social studies that starts at middle school right now. But all of our students and teachers are ready, and I have been through some buildings this week, and they have all the decorations and the motivational posters. They're
almost like it's a sports thing, right?
Yes, they're doing.
Because I know you're a big sports person.
I am a big. Hey, we like to win around
competition,
here.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, I know in the last several years, I mean, you guys have overall pretty much been improving every year, right?
We have been improving. As you remember, I think I've told you before, 4 years ago, we were 16 out of 16 on our growth in our region, the South Central region.
Okay.
And this past year, we were first out of 16. So
I'm sorry to say that again, Dr. Garrett.
First out of 16. We went from bottom to the top.
You like winning, don't you?
I love winning.
It's not just about it's about winning.
It is about winning. I do love kids, though.
I know you do. I know you do.
It's about giving them a good opportunity.
I was going to say it's about building that foundation.
It is.
For them to be successful later in life.
Is.
So let's make sure we say that.
Yes.
But we do like competition sometimes.
We do. Have you seen our sports teams?
Yes. And
got some good ones.
Well, I know. And I still thought that was a great move when you put basketball back in elementary schools, growing them young.
Yes. And right now, I don't know if you have seen, but I would hope that the listening audience, we have two student athletes up for Middle Tennessee Mid-Season Player of the Year, Stephen Bobo.
Okay.
And Annie Prince from Community, Stephen Bobo from Shelbyville Central. And Stephen has like a 600 batting average, and Annie...
600?
Yes.
Mine wasn't even the opposite, 300.
So I would request, go on the Tennessean webpage and vote for those student athletes and help celebrate their dedication.
Well, congratulations to both of them. And, get on there, folks, and vote for a couple of great local kids that are doing really well in sports, and I'm sure other things as well in school. Now, I know the Tennessee, of course, has that third grade retention law.
They do.
So that's part of the testing going on right now, reading, right?
Yes, and I met with a third grade parent this week on something else, and she was really nervous about her third grader. So I know it has a lot of...
little anxiety, maybe?
Yes, comes with it, but I promise those teachers have really prepared those students.
Yeah, I know every year, by the time it comes summertime, you usually have almost nobody, right? Very few kids that have to do that don't make it and have to be retained.
We do have a summer school program as one of the pathways, and
I remember that. Mm-hmm. They have to go to 90% of the classes,
right?
They
do, or have to make those up, or have tutoring the next year. So we have a lot of tutoring, and we've had great success with our tutoring. We can get a lot of retired teachers to come in for 4, 6, 8 hours a week. They like that, so we like them coming too. So
there's plenty of pathways to success on getting being successful with that third grade retention law.
Yes, and we've seen rises in our scores, our achievement, our growth, and I think some of those, comes from the tutoring. It comes from teachers just really focusing on the standards and motivating kids, and I look forward to seeing what they do this year.
Well, I know the state of Tennessee, when they redid their formula and they started helping us more because of our demographics and stuff, I assume that's helped all of that extra money.
That really has helped. We've had to and been able to, with that money, add English language learner teachers. I think
gotta have them. Yeah.
We've added like 41 of those, and that has to have a significant impact. And the law regulates that. Every time you get 35, you have to hire a teacher. So we've hired a bunch of those, and hopefully we will see that impact on our numbers.
And that was with the TISA funding?
With the TISA funding, yes. We have.
I can't remember what that stands for, Dr. Garrett. I'm not going to ask you either. Because in the military and education, we deal in acronyms all the time.
And you said it correctly. I always tell people, some people say TISA. It's not TISA. It's like Lisa, but with a T. TISA.
Well, and for just kind of educating our listening audience or reminding them, I guess some of them probably already know it, but used to be just pretty much the state gave you so much per student, roughly. Is that roughly how they did it? Or
what they used to do is do it on a resource-based formula, so like this per school or this per district.
Right.
Now they do it by what the student needs are. So a student can earn anywhere from $7,300 up until like almost $20,000 for a student who has significant needs.
A lot of special needs and things like that. Yeah, so that's helped us out a lot.
It really has helped us meet the needs of our students.
Thank you, Representative Pat Marsh and Senator Shane Reeves.
Yes.
I know they were behind a lot of that.
Yes, they were.
Thank you to them, and because what we want is successful outcomes, obviously, and that helps do that, and that's state funding.
Yes.
Didn't have to come from local
and
tax
it
dollars.
also has helped us increase our pay. This next school year, in the budget that we're working on right now, we're going to recommend a 4.5% raise for our certified staff and a 6% raise for our classified, and we're able to do that from new money from the state, so no local money required. So.
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
And working well, and thanks to the state for that, quite frankly, because wages are so competitive nowadays. Doing that, and it costs a living.
Yeah, and July 1st, they're going to send us $2,000 in addition to the raise, $2,000 per teacher.
The state is?
Yes, teacher bonus.
Really?
Yes, if they worked the whole time, if they were full time.
Okay.
For this past year, the year we're currently in, they will get a $2,000 bonus.
All right.
It's for all certified. Working with kids, but not administrators, but the teachers.
The ones that are doing hands-on.
Yes.
The ones doing hands-on. Congratulations for that, and well-deserved.
Yeah, absolutely. We appreciate the state
legislature taking care of business on that. Well, good luck on the testing. There's no doubt. I feel very confident you all do well. And when do you get those results back?
Well, that's the crazy part.
It doesn't take just 2 weeks, does it?
No.
It doesn't like they grade the papers to give it back to you tomorrow, right?
That is correct. I wish they did, but normally we don't get those back to October, November.
I was going to say the fall sometime.
Yes, late fall, which makes it difficult.
Well, I would think so, because you would think you'd want them earlier. So if you do need to correct in certain areas or do something, you could start that at the beginning of the school year. Is that kind of what we're thinking here?
Yes, that's what we hope. But that's why we have to do some testing on our own. Because and you do, the difference is kind of like a formal test of what you're doing. That one is like a cumulative test at the end of the year. It's almost like an autopsy as opposed to diagnostic
comprehensive
test.
finals.
Yes.
Versus.
Yes.
I remember those from graduate school. That was fun. Enough about testing, probably, so good luck with that. Now, of course, I've always called you a construction manager, because as we grow in Bedford County, we have to increase our capacity for physical structures.
Yes.
And so you've certainly been a construction manager now for quite a while. I know you got several going. I know you got a lot of, I don't want to call them small projects, but a lot of other projects. But the large projects, I guess, were Liberty and Thomas, I guess.
Yes, Thomas is complete, except for the restrooms, the girls' and boys' restrooms. Okay. They're still working on those. They didn't want to move right around testing, so after testing, they'll be able to move in.
And that was to increase the programs at Thomas, I guess, to
We moved it up to the 8th grade. The last several years, we added 6th, then added 7th, then added 8th, so we needed 4 additional classrooms.
Yeah, yes.
And so we did that, and then at Liberty, we are adding 10 classrooms. It is delayed. We've had some supply chain problems.
I can't imagine that.
Yeah, windows is a big thing.
You know what? I saw that the other day on the news somewhere that where contractors couldn't get windows.
Yes, and we've struggled. And, then you have to let your flooring acclimate to the
you do.
HVAC.
Yeah, absolutely you do.
So they're telling me now, May the 12th, at the latest June the 1st. So hopefully that works out.
We'll be done.
Yes, we'll be finished.
So we're ready for the next school year.
Yes. So hopefully that we could get in before school year's out so some of those middle schoolers can help us move.
Are you going to have to do some redistricting with that?
Really, the only thing that we will have to do on that, there are a few roads out in the south side zone. We would really like to get rid of those portables there. That's our last one.
It is, isn't it?
Yes.
Yep.
And so some of those roads out there we're going to look to move. And the other thing that we'll do next year is, we have the open enrollment where you can apply to go to a different school. So we're not going to allow that at Southside in order to get us out of those portables.
Get all the portables, yeah. Fortunately, those two schools, Liberty and Southside, for anybody affected by that, those geographically, they're close together.
Yes, they are.
So if whether you're going to one or the other, it's almost, you're still going very close by. So.
And if we do not allow open enrollment, it's not a whole lot of roads that will redistrict there. But I think some of those are like Red Bud Lane out off of the highway.
231 South?
64.
Oh, 64.
When it splits there, some of those roads
okay.
There
Right. Out 64 towards 130 West.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know where you're talking. Oh, yes, right across Flat Creek there, across the bridge.
Yes. So that's what we're thinking about. We'll get that information out to parents.
No doubt about it. So anything else on building program? I know you have other projects going on.
We have a lot of great things at our athletic facilities that we've been able to do with grant funding, with some of our COVID money that we got.
Okay.
We were able, if you've been out Cascade Middle School, which the high school plays there, we've got a new entry there with the ticket booth and
this
concession
is a football
stand.
Field?
It's right at the football and baseball field.
Football, baseball complex.
It looks great. And then we also have a concession stand, restrooms going in at the soccer and softball field.
Okay.
And if you've...
Those are important.
Those are important.
They
we haven't had one. We've had to use portables, so we're excited.
Yes.
We're very excited.
Folks are talking to Dr. Tammy Garrett, the Bedford County School Superintendent, about things going on in public education here in Bedford County. We're going to take a 60-second break and be right back.
When's the last time you've seen the eye doctor? Don't wait. Whether it's little Carter's first pair of glasses or keeping a good eye on your vision health as you age, your eyes are a precious thing. See personalized care for the whole family and friendly faces at Dr. Hasty Family Eye Care on 605 North Main in Shelbyville, across from the U.S. Post Office. Striving to bring you excellence in optometry every single day. Don't put your family's vision off. Make an appointment today at 931-684-2020. Personalized eye care for the whole family at Dr. Hasty Family Eye Care.
At United Communications, we're more than just fast internet. We're your local connection to reliability and service you can count on, right here in Bedford County. With fiber fast speeds and a team in your local community, we keep you connected when it matters most. No long hold times, no out-of-town providers, just real service from people who care. Call 931-740-1800 or visit united.net. Thousands of Tennesseans already trust United. United Communications. Fast, local internet.
Kincaid's is proud to offer Beauty Rest Black to our customers. Beauty Rest Black represents a leap forward in bedding with sleep climate technology keeping you cool, and triple-stranded pocketed coils give you luxurious support all night long. Wake up refreshed and ready to take on the day with a new Beauty Rest Black mattress from Kincaid Service Company. 400 Madison Street, Shelbyville, across from the Speedway gas station. 931-684-5662.
Folks, this is Scott Johnson on behalf of Hopkins Farm Broadcasting here in Shelbyville, Tennessee, Bedford County. It's that time of the month we're talking to Dr. Tammy Garrett, the Bedford County School Superintendent, about things going on in Bedford County schools and the 10,000 people she oversees every day Monday. You know, I had to say it, Dr. Garrett.
I know, you always do.
I know. 20% of our population's in a public school Monday through Friday.
No pressure.
Here, none whatsoever. That's why I gave you the stress ball when you came in. But anyhow, let's talk a little bit more about construction things, sports stuff. I know you guys are working on some lighting.
We are.
For a ball field, right?
We are so excited. Community is already finished. We have come in and put LED lights at all of our sports facilities.
In the long run, that's going to save you a lot of money.
It will, and we were able to do that, if you remember, on the money that we saved at Cartwright.
Right. It did come in a little bit less.
Yes, but there were a lot of people worked hard for that, you know, to help us with that. Jeff Sweeney was a big, Jeff and I.
Hard-nosed negotiator.
Yes, and he really helped us save a lot of money on that. And so we were able to redo the lights and put LED lights in. If you remember, at Cascade High School, we didn't even have lights at our soccer field, so they had to play if it was dark somewhere else.
Everybody get your truck and turn the headlights on. Let's go. I mean, we are on the country now. Okay.
Yeah, so now we have lights.
And let there be light.
Well, we are excited about that.
Well, and you know, it's fantastic y'all were able to do that. And the bottom line is, I know at the celebration grounds when we replaced some lighting a few years ago with LED lights, the payback on the savings was very quick, like less than 5 years.
Really, I'm excited for that. Our main problem was that they were from 1970s and you couldn't get the bulbs anymore. So
that's why I play ball. I probably came out there at one point or another. And, man, what you got? Oh, now I feel bad.
Hey, and
is this show over yet, Producer Chase?
And I will not miss my Friday night calls and say, hey, the lights won't work. So they will work now.
Is that right? Were you getting calls on that?
Oh, all the time. All the time.
Were those the kind of lights when I forget what they call them, where you got to slam them on? If they go off, though, it takes a while to come back on?
I think so. And, you know, Mr. Sweeney worked and got us a 15-year warranty. So I will be retired.
15 years? Okay.
Before I have to worry about
not going to be an issue for you. That's going to be somebody else's issue.
Yes, I will be old in 15 years.
Thank goodness. But anyhow, what's on the school board agenda tonight? Anything?
It is light tonight. Okay. Very light tonight. Okay. We have an amendment, which is just really department transfers where principals...
Which is fairly routine and stuff. Yeah.
Principals needed to move some money before they do their final requisition. So, and then the only other thing on there is we had some booster organizations that wanted to reward some coaches.
Okay. You have to approve that, right?
Yeah, we have to approve that, and that has to go through finance and do all the stuff. So that's it. It's a light night tonight.
All right. Well, it's budget time. I assume y'all are working on budget.
We are working on budget. We have, like I said earlier, we'll get about $3 million extra from Artesa from the state, and we appreciate that. In addition, we get that $2,000 per teacher, per full-time teacher. So we are almost finished. Now, our budget is tight this year because we're coming off that. You know, we had a lot of ESSER money. We had a lot of, you know, grants and things like that. But right now, it will be tight. But all our construction projects will be very light after we get finished what we're doing right now. So,
well, I know one of the things you guys can't do is just, especially once these two major construction projects gets done. Obviously, Bedford County is still growing, so you'll have to look in the future, I guess, for future locations for more schools.
And we've been working on that with our board.
I mean, I know you guys strategically plan all that.
We have, but we kind of paused it and let us get through this budget, and then we'll come back and finalize that this summer. But, you know, budget time takes a lot of work. And
it does.
It does. So we're working through that. We have another work session next Thursday night, and hopefully we can bring our budget to the school board in our May meeting and then on to the Finance Committee and Commission.
Good deal. I always ask you this question, too, is I know there's, as far as teachers and kind of what kind of teachers you need, is there any particular, are you still needing special education teachers or math teachers, or what's going on in the HR area?
Both of those.
Oh, both of them.
But, one of the things that I noticed, I went to a meeting this week at a university. I serve on their advisory board on their College of Education, and they were asking about one of the things that we've had is an increase in the number of seniors wanting to be teachers.
I'm sorry, say that again, Dr. Garrett? That's fantastic.
It is. Last year we started a program where we will pay for you to go to college if you would agree to come back and teach.
You basically have a contract to do that.
Yes, we have a contract. If we pay for 4 years, you come back and work for us.
That's kind of like a lot of law enforcement agencies. We send you to the police academy. You got to give us 3 years back because we're paying for it.
Yes.
And,
And one of the things I think also that has had an impact on this, if you remember, Cooper Steel is a great partner, and they
truly are.
They really are. They've been funding a program in which the students give back to little kids. And so they go read to them, they go do High Five Fridays. And what I have seen out of that is once these kids do that and just feel, it's good for your heart to do something good for others.
Well, teaching, obviously, you're not going to get wealthy doing it, but you are going to get wealthy for those intrinsic rewards,
Absolutely.
Right?
And what I've seen with this program is an increase in the number of people wanting to be teachers.
That's fantastic, because that's kind of a reversal of a long-time trend where folks just weren't necessarily heading that way anymore.
Last year we had 3 of those that took us up on the offer.
Okay.
This year I think there were 15 that applied and only had spots for 7.
Okay. And this is, so they get some, basically, scholarship money, I guess,
yes.
grant money, whatever you want to call it.
Yes.
And does it have to be in a particular area of education?
No.
Or just if they got to come back as a certified teacher?
In Bedford County,
for a certain period of time, I guess.
Yes.
Okay. That's a great program, though.
It is. And myself and the HR director go to the university and meet with these kids and have lunch with them every once in a while.
Okay.
Keep connected and make sure they're doing okay.
Well, that's fantastic. You do a little mentoring.
Yes.
And answering questions they have. Okay.
There are some good students that we have. We're excited about it.
I'm glad you brought that what a great program, because Grow Your Own, I call it.
Yep.
The EMS, the ambulance service, does that. They have a program where they'll help pay and get you educated, and then you give them some time, get certified, and the Grow Your Own. I like that. I like that.
We even had this time students from other counties that wanted to get in on ours, but I believe you keep your own first, and so we gave all the local ones first, but we didn't have any room to give anyone outside.
Right. Well,
so many. And
that makes sense. I mean, it's not that somebody wouldn't move here and stay here, because you have teachers that came from other locations, but your odds are probably a little higher if they're from here and staying here, right?
And we really look at, the university has really helped us to be able to analyze to see who is likely to be successful based on their ACT.
How did they do that? Oh, okay.
Based on their ACT, based on their grade point, based on interviews. They do interviews and rank them, and so we want to make a good investment with our money, so we want to give it to people likely to finish.
Oh my gosh, y'all have an objective process. Imagine that. Well, I'm glad you brought that up too. So, all you is that high school seniors? I guess you take a look at that every year, and you've already obviously done that for this year.
We have. It is closed for this year, but if you have a junior, tell them to consider it.
I wonder how many of them's parents are teachers too. I don't know. I'm not asking you because you probably don't know that, but it's because it sends a run in families sometimes.
It does.
Because they see how important and the rewards from that of being able to teach some people. And we've talked about this before, where you're in Kroger and kids come up to you and thank you. When they're older, they're out of school now, and they just thank you, and they've always remembered you.
The other thing that I've really realized with this job, as opposed to when I was in a school building as a teacher and a principal, I think I took for granted, and I realize it now, of when you're a teacher, you're surrounded by great human beings every day. Teachers have big hearts, and they're good people.
Yep.
And when you work in different, corporate or industry, not that they're not good people, but I'm going to tell you, for the overall part, that's one of the things that I miss, is just being surrounded by that family atmosphere every day.
And your work situation, your work climate's important. So think about that, any of you out there that are thinking about being teachers. There are about, 4 ways to become a teacher in Tennessee? 3 or 4 ways. You can always talk to Neil Watson at the 500 Madison Street, especially for those of you that you may be in your 40s or 50s or something, and you're looking for a career change that actually gives you a sense of purpose.
Absolutely.
And I would never hesitate to contact the HR office there in the school system to talk to them about that, because Tennessee does have several ways to actually a pathway to be a teacher in a classroom.
They do. I think it's been 2 years ago, I was having a conversation with a pastor at a church out in the county, and I was like, hey, have you ever considered being a teacher? And he became a teacher, and he has been one of the best teachers. I mean, doing a phenomenal job.
And he wasn't right out of college, was he?
No, and he had to go back and get his certification, but doing a phenomenal job. Do we, as teachers and educators, have hard days? Absolutely, but they are a lot of great days.
Well, I think a lot of times those folks that are kind of mid-career and stuff, they bring a lot of life experiences with them to teaching, right? They've done other things. I know Tim Harwell and Neil both didn't start out in education. They brought those life experiences with them when they came, and now they're doing very well obviously in the education system. So, folks, I guess what I'm trying to say, I'm doing a little recruiting here for Dr. Garrett, that if you're out there and you haven't thought about it, think about it. At least have a conversation with the school system if you think that if that's something you really want to do, not just to have a job, but to really have a profession and have a passion to help kids out.
Yes.
Dr. Garrett, we're out of time. Is there anything else you want to talk about today? You covered a lot of topics.
Do not forget our 5K coming up on May the 10th. If you've not signed up, sign up. It'll be a great day of fellowship.
Well, my wife's working part-time at Learning Way, and she sent me a picture the other day where I signed up for the Learning Way team, okay? I'm like, well, I guess I had no option here, but...
my husband's in the same boat.
Is that right? He gets signed up. Does central office have a team?
Yes, we do. He's on that team.
So that's a 5K, so that's 3.1 miles. What are you looking at running that in, Dr. Garrett? About 23 minutes, 24 minutes? What do you think?
No. Add a 0 to that, probably.
You know what? That's going to be what a great event that's going to be.
It is.
As a matter of fact, Laurie Sexton was in here with Sam Blevins and Kelly North with a partnership on Tuesday, and they were talking about that race sponsored by the foundation out of the partnership, and they've already got like over 500.
Yes.
That'll be the biggest race we've ever had in Bedford County. Because believe it or not, I used to be a runner, and I ran a lot of races here, and you might get 150. So what a great way to come out, have a good time, and support education.
You know, the other thing they're doing, and I know there were still some left, if any parents want to sign their kids up and you can't afford it, I think they're like $35. They have scholarships, and they had some of those left.
Okay. All right. Outstanding. Come on out. I'm glad you mentioned that. May 10th. Everybody's going to be out there.
Yes.
You know, we're going to see what we can do.
We'll have a big time.
We will, actually, and running groups are great folks. So thank you for bringing that up, Dr. Garrett. And thank you and your entire staff across about 16 different buildings that are out there that are doing a fantastic job of preparing our children to give them that foundation to be successful and to make Bedford County a better place to live and work. So thank you, and please pass that on to them.
I will. Thank you.
Folks, this is Scott Johnson on behalf of Hopkins Farm Broadcasting. We have roughly 11 government-related talk shows every month, and we like to say we're in equine country here. So if you really want to hear what's actually going on, just tune in here and hear it straight from the horse's mouth about what's happening in all these different organizations. Scott Johnson on behalf of Hopkins Farm Broadcasting. Until next time.
United Communications builds connections you can rely on. Whether it's fast internet for your home or your business, our fiber network is designed for your community. No long hold times, no out-of-town providers, just real service from real people. Call 931-740-1800 or visit united.net. Thousands of Tennesseans already trust United. United Communications. Fast local internet.
Visit Kincaid Service Company today to experience the superior comfort of a Serta mattress. Serta has pioneered sleep innovation for more than 90 years, bringing quality products to more than 150 countries worldwide. Serta Comfort is validated by consumers with thousands of 5-star reviews and are designed and assembled in the U.S. at one of Serta's state-of-the-art facilities. Serta's award-winning mattress collections are created by providing superior comfort along with overall support and breathability. Get Serta Comfort by visiting Kincaid Service Company in Shelbyville. Online at KincaidService.com. When's the last time you've seen the eye doctor? Don't wait. Whether it's little Carter's first pair of glasses or keeping a good eye on your vision health as you age, your eyes are a precious thing. See personalized care for the whole family and friendly faces at Dr. Hasty Family Eye Care on 605 North Main in Shelbyville, across from the U.S. Post Office. Striving to bring you excellence in optometry every single day. Don't put your family's vision off. Make an appointment today at 931-684-2020. Personalized eye care for the whole family at Dr. Hasty Family Eye Care.
This is your country, getting you where you're going, back roads preferred. 98.7 and AM 1580 WLI.